Today, about 1.3 million people die each year on the world's roads.
Over 90% of these 1.3 million victims are in developing countries, and their numbers are rising at an alarming rate, especially in the fast-growing cities of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. With economic expansion and more people, there are more cars on the road and more crashes.
In Delhi, the trauma unit, full, and 70% of the beds were filled with road traffic victims. In a Hanoi hospital, parents grieve over injured children who they kissed goodbye that morning when they went off to school. I saw too many smart highways with too few crossing points for the communities that they cut in half. And I will never forget the hopeless grief I saw in a young widow's eyes, clutching her baby, now facing a life of poverty because her husband was killed on the motorcycle coming home for dinner.
Globally, road traffic collisions cost countries almost $520 billion a year in material and health damages, lost income, and other costs. For many low and middle-income countries, the cost of road crashes is equal to as much as 3% of their GDP. In some cases, that cost is higher than the total amount that country will receive international development assistance.
In response, the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, Asian and African Development Banks, European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, European Investment Bank, and the Islamic Development Bank have launched a new MDB road safety initiative. They're looking to join governments, the private sector, foundations, and civil society organizations. The initiative is being coordinated by the Global Road Safety Facility housed in the World Bank.
Many people say it's an act of God, and we see people who lose children and say, well, their time had come, but that's not the case. We can prevent it, we can avoid it.
About 10% of most development banks' portfolios is devoted to building roads.
Roads are essential to development because they connect families with school and health centers, they connect farmers to markets, they connect the hinterland with seaports. So supporting road safety has to be part of the global development challenge.
The MDB Road Safety Initiative is committed to achieving the goals of the Decade of Action for Road Safety from 2011 to 2020. It's an awareness-raising and action program aimed to save 5 million lives and prevent 50 million injuries in developing countries for an estimated benefit of at least $3 trillion.
With a coordinated, systematic set of actions, including better information, new laws, better regulation, better enforcement, and a good public awareness campaign. All of these are the kinds of actions that are being targeted by the MDB plan.
The development banks plan to apply an integrated safe system approach which promotes shared responsibility for ensuring safe mobility. This starts with countries naming a lead agency to take charge of a national road safety strategy. Another part of the strategy involves road safety assessments through collecting data, which is reviewed against indicators showing safety risks. Once the risks are identified, plans are drafted to fix them. The initiative plans to raise resources to implement its activities.
And in this regard, I'm pleased to announce that our initiative has already started working in coordination with the Global Road Safety Facility on the creation of some new incentive funds. These funds are designed to catalyze transformational road safety initiatives at the country and regional levels, and we'll be seeking the strong support of donors to help us bolster this effort.
It promises to be a real opportunity to save lives. But in order to turn this opportunity, this momentum into action, and yes, save lives, the role of the multilateral development banks is so crucially important. Our Make Roads Safe campaign has consistently called on the multilateral development banks to make road safety a greater priority, to use your vast lending capacity as a force for good.
As we begin the Decade of Action for Road Safety, the multilateral development banks have a chance to save millions from death and injury.